you're a success. I've never seen anybody that reaches that age. I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty or pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, if they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy. And I've seen some very, very wealthy people that they give testimonial dinners to and name schools after and everything. Nobody loves them. You know?
Imagine this. You wake up one morning, check your bank account, and realize that no matter how much you earn, you can never seem to get ahead. Rent is due, bills are stacking, and your savings account barely moves. You start asking yourself the same question millions of people ask every day. Why can't I seem to get financially free? Here's the truth nobody tells you. Financial freedom doesn't come from working harder, chasing the next big promotion, or even investing in the hottest trends. It starts with one thing, something that feels almost too simple: budgeting. Yet, even in 2025, despite all the apps, AI tools, and investment hacks, budgeting remains the most powerful tool anyone can use to control their money and ultimately their life. You see, budgeting is often misunderstood. People associate it with restriction, deprivation, or living a boring life where every penny must be tracked. But that's far from the truth. Budgeting is not about being cheap. It's about being intentional. It's the act of telling your money exactly where to go instead of wondering where it went. The irony is shocking. Most of the richest people you read about in news articles or see on social media didn't get there because they made more money. They got there because they mastered their money. And mastering your money starts with a clear, deliberate, and enforceable plan, a budget. Let's break it down. Sarah Johnson, a 34-year-old graphic designer from Austin, had been living paycheck to paycheck for over a decade. She thought she was smart with money. She never bought anything she couldn't afford, yet somehow, by the end of each month, she had nothing saved. The problem wasn't her income, it was her lack of structure. She started a simple monthly budget, listing income, fixed expenses, savings, and discretionary spending. Within 6 months, Sarah had cleared $5,000 in debt and was building an emergency fund she once thought was impossible. That's the power of budgeting. It turns chaos into clarity. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking budgeting is only for those who are struggling. The reality is the wealthiest people in the world are obsessive about their budgets. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, famously lives in the same house he bought decades ago. He meticulously tracks his spending. Oprah Winfrey, another billionaire, is known for her attention to financial detail and her disciplined approach to money management. If budgeting were unnecessary, would people like these exist as examples? Absolutely not. The first step toward financial freedom is knowing exactly what you have, what you owe, and where it's going every single month. Without that, you are flying blind. Budgeting does more than just track numbers. It changes your relationship with money. Think about it. Every dollar you earn has a job. If you don't assign jobs, your money disappears into thin air. Take the story of Jamal Edwards, a 29-year-old freelance photographer from Chicago. Jamal made good money, but never planned his spending. By the time his rent and utilities were paid, his money was gone on random subscriptions, dining out, and gadgets he didn't really need. He started budgeting with a zero-based approach. Every dollar had a purpose. Not only did he stop living paycheck to paycheck, but he also found that he could afford things he actually cared about, like traveling and investing in his business. Budgeting gives your money a voice and direction, turning financial stress into financial strategy. Let's talk about another key element: saving and investing. Many people think you need to make a huge income to start saving or investing, but the truth is, budgeting is what makes it possible. Take Emily Carter, a 27-year-old teacher from Denver. She earns a modest salary, but always assumed she couldn't save for anything meaningful. Once she implemented a budget and tracked every expense, she realized she was wasting hundreds of dollars monthly on small, unnecessary purchases. Redirecting that money, she started an investment account. Within 2 years, Emily had accumulated $20,000, proving that financial freedom is not about luck or high income, it's about consistent, intentional planning. budgeting creates the framework that allows your money to grow instead of vanish. Debt is another area where budgeting is transformative. Most people live with some form of debt. Student loans, credit cards, car loans. Debt can feel like a prison, but it doesn't have to be. Michael Rodriguez, a 31-year-old engineer, had over $40,000 in credit card debt. The interest alone was eating him alive. Michael created a strict monthly budget, allocating every spare dollar to pay down the highest interest debts first. He combined this with a disciplined spending plan, and in just 3 years, he was debt-free. He often says budgeting didn't just save his finances, it saved his mental health. When you have a plan, the weight of debt becomes manageable. It's no longer a shadow hovering over every decision. It becomes a challenge you can systematically conquer. Now, let's consider lifestyle inflation, a silent killer of financial freedom. Many people earn more but spend more, thinking that higher income automatically leads to wealth. In reality, without a budget, the extra income often disappears into a bigger car, fancier gadgets, or dining at premium restaurants. Take Olivia Bennett, a 38-year-old lawyer. As her income increased, she noticed her savings stayed the same. After creating a strict budget that prioritized savings and investments, Olivia redirected her extra earnings to build wealth rather than lifestyle debt. Budgeting ensures that no matter how much you earn, your wealth grows proportionally rather than disappearing into the illusion of affluence. Another hidden benefit of budgeting is emergency preparedness. Life is unpredictable. Medical emergencies, sudden job loss, or unexpected repairs happen to everyone. A budget creates a safety net that prevents these events from becoming catastrophic. Take Alex Thompson, a 42-year-old entrepreneur who once faced a medical emergency that cost thousands. Because he had a budget that included an emergency fund, he covered the costs without stress or loans. Budgeting doesn't just plan for the usual, it prepares you for the unusual, turning uncertainty into security. Budgeting also fosters discipline and intentionality, traits that go far beyond money. When you commit to a budget, you learn to delay gratification, prioritize needs over wants, and make conscious choices about every dollar. Take Rachel Morgan, a 35-year-old marketing executive. She says budgeting transformed not just her finances, but her life. She learned patience, planning, and foresight, skills that helped her negotiate a better job offer, manage her household more efficiently, and even improve her health because she could budget for nutritious meals and fitness. A budget isn't just a financial tool, it's a life tool, training you to be strategic, mindful, and empowered. Finally, consider the long-term vision that budgeting enables. Most people fail to plan for retirement, large investments, or generational wealth. Without a budget, it's nearly impossible to align your daily spending with your long-term goals. Take David Nguyen, a 45-year-old small business owner. Early in his career, he thought retirement was too far away to worry about. Once he started budgeting, he realized he could allocate a portion of his income toward retirement accounts, investments, and future business opportunities. 10 years later, David is on track to retire comfortably, proving that financial freedom is less about luck and more about structured, disciplined planning. Budgeting also has a psychological impact that money management apps and investment tips alone cannot provide. It creates clarity, reduces anxiety, and builds confidence. Knowing that every dollar has a purpose gives a sense of control that most people lack. Take Hannah Lee, a 28-year-old nurse. Before budgeting, she constantly worried about money, checking her account multiple times a day, and stressing over minor purchases. After implementing a budget, she found peace. She knew exactly how much she could spend, save, and invest. And that clarity translated into confidence in her career, relationships, and personal growth. Budgeting turns fear into empowerment. So, why is budgeting still the #1 tool for financial freedom? Because it touches every aspect of money management. It tracks spending, fights debt, combats lifestyle inflation, prepares for emergencies, grows savings, and builds discipline. More than that, it transforms the way you think about money, giving you control instead of chaos. People like Sarah Johnson, Jamal Edwards, Emily Carter, Michael Rodriguez, Olivia Bennett, Alex Thompson, Rachel Morgan, David Nguyen, and Hannah Lee didn't find financial freedom by chance. They found it through intentionality, discipline, and most importantly, budgeting. Here's the hard truth. No flashy investment, no secret app, and no high-income job can compensate for the lack of a budget. You can earn $1 million a year, but without a plan, it will vanish faster than you think. Budgeting is the blueprint, the map that guides you from surviving paycheck to thriving with financial freedom. So, here's what to take away. Start small, but start today. Write down your income, your expenses, your debts, and your financial goals. Assign every dollar a job, even if it's just $5 toward a savings account. Treat your money like a tool, not an obstacle. Watch how clarity replaces confusion, control replaces stress, and financial freedom moves from a dream to a reality. Budgeting isn't boring, restrictive, or outdated. It's your most powerful tool for a life of security, opportunity, and peace of mind. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take control. Start now, because financial freedom isn't found. It's built, one budget at a time.